So before you can go ahead and start sending out emails, you need to know exactly who you're going to send those emails to. So setting up the actual emails would be considered setting up campaigns. And then also you can set up templates, which could be used for multiple campaigns. But before you have that done, and before you're able to look at your reports, the first thing you need is lists. So you need to have a list of uh, people that you're going to actually send an email to. Okay, so let's click on lists, and I'm going to help you set that up. Here we have one that it looks like I set up. I was practicing some stuff on it. I don't know when I did this. Let me just delete that right away. Okay, and delete. So, okay, when you first come here, it's going to look like this, okay? And you go to the right, it'll say you haven't created a list yet, and you go create a list right here. All right, so you can give your list a name, and the subscribers will see it. So it's something that you need to think about. Let's say that you're selling, for example, cupcakes, right? And let's say it's called Joe's Cupcakes, right? So Joe's Cupcakes, let's say newsletter. So this is a newsletter for when people sign up. Let's say you have like a pop up on your website or something, or you already have this list and you have people subscribing to this list. When they go to actually sign up and they put their email in, you'll be able to actually send them emails and it'll come to them as Joe's Cupcake Newsletter. And then you can set up what's called a from email address. This could be whoever the email is from. It could be from, let's say, Joe's Cupcakes or whatever. And I hope that business doesn't actually exist, but I'm just making up a hypothetical here. Let's say Joe's Cupcakes, right? Um, it could be like Joe at Joe's Cupcakes, just as an example. Okay, so when people get the email, this is what they're going to actually see right here. It's going to be, hey, it's Joe from Joe's Cupcakes. And then there's going to also be the name. If you'll notice, depending on the actual email service provider, but for a lot of them, they're actually going to show primarily the person's name. So you could actually put, like, let's say Joe, and then let's say the person's name is like Smith, for example. So it's from Joe Smith, and it's Joe at Joe's Cupcakes, right? And then that's the list name there. And as you can see here, it says your subscribers will see this, so make sure it's something appropriate. Okay, and they actually give you an example. A bad example would be to say you're doing it like it's an internal document almost, and putting like Joe's underscore cupcakes. You don't want to do it like that. Okay, so just be mindful about how you word that. And here's what here's where you need to actually remind people how they sign up to your list. What I would generally do is this example here is actually really good. Like for example, you are receiving this email because you opted in at our website um, to receive our newsletters. And this is just, basically to comply with all the anti-spam laws and such. Okay, so they have an idea why they're getting a email. And then this is the campaign URL setting. It's going to actually just generate it randomly. If you want to use a customized campaign URL, um, you'd actually have to upgrade to a paid account and you'd have to verify your domain. So that way it will actually be, your actual domain being used for the campaign URL setting. And once you upgrade, you could just go ahead and when you do the verification, that's going to be, handled and you'll have that option. Okay, so we're just using this non-paid account as an example. There's a few options that you'd have to pay for to get it a little bit more customized, and which is good for if you're trying to run a business and not have it apparent what kind of service providers you're using for your website and for emails and stuff like that. Okay, and then here you could put the contact information, and you'd go ahead and you could actually edit it, so you could change all that information, your phone number and all that good stuff. All right, And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but right now, what this is it allows you to enable double opt-in. So that is just, making sure that when they actually sign up to receive your emails, it'll send them another email that says, "Are you sure?" And "Are you a human?" It'll have like a little captcha kind thing, and then they'll go on from there. And then this is the notifications. So do you want to get a daily summary, a one by one, for the unsubscribes or for subscribes? I think daily summary is generally better, because what a daily summary allows you to do is just get the information once a day. I wouldn't even do this. I would just come here and take a look at it in the reports. Doing it one by one is probably not a good idea, especially as you scale up, because you don't really need to get an email every time someone subscribes or unsubscribes. So it's not really important. Oops. So looks like we failed to create that list. Let's just re-put this stuff in here. It was Joe's Cupcakes. And letter. And Joe Smith, wasn't it? Okay, so let's just go ahead and say we didn't enable double opt-in. We didn't click any of these notification settings, and go and save. It says, please check your entry and try again. Oops. We need to. You signed up for our newsletter. Okay, and save. So if anything's not right, it's not going to let you move forward. So now you actually have a list. It says, excellent. You have a brand new list. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Should be. There we go. So come back. You might have to click to, one of these other tabs to come back, and you'll be able to see that your list is right here. Okay. And we're going to get to everything else in the next steps.